And we're live.
And we are live. Once again, we are back. Welcome to the Cre8tive Pit. It's your boy, John Darkle Chapman. And over to I always point the wrong direction because it's
It man, it's us flipped.
my partner in crime, co-worker with this show, Mr.
Robert Waters, we missed you guys, man. I know we weren't here last week,
Robert
but
Waters,
we are
Graphite,
back. We are
so on and
back.
so forth. So yeah, we are back, man. We took a little hiatus for a week. Taxes.
Yeah.
Literally taxes. That's the reason I couldn't do the damn show. So yeah, we're back again, and we got an awesome guest again. This is going to be a good one, the same as we had kind of with another couple photographer and makeup artist. So definitely looking forward to it. It's a good friend of mine. So definitely looking forward to this. But real quick, as usual, try and get into a little bit of news. What's going on, man?
Yeah.
Right.
We had what NAB going. There's actually a bunch of stuff going on, just in general, kind of in the world.
Is going
Yeah.
on right.
NEB just happened. There's a bunch of cool stuff there. You know, the Black Magic, where they doing the they just updated their updated Resolve to 18. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on with Resolve. They're adding in some of those features that are in Adobe. So like the collaborative editing. So you can have a bunch of people all over editing the same thing. They even like built their own storage device for it. So it's kind of neat.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So you could it's actually pretty real time. Like so you can while somebody else is editing, you just click an update and everybody sees what's happening real time. So it's kind of nice.
Nice. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now and everybody that's coming on. Lisa,
Ray.
as always, thank you. She has been a very loyal follower. We do appreciate it.
Always appreciate it, Lisa.
What's up to who was the guy? Fossil Studios. What's up, Dan? What's going on? Dan was actually he was on our first episode.
Yep.
We went over we did a tutorial with him, and then we got Ray Alvarez. He's on here as well. Thank you, sir, for coming on.
Ray always appreciate it, Ray.
We did. And this is a good one for you, Ray, because this is very much a couple, just like you and your wife.
Yep.
Ray and his wife. His wife is a makeup artist. Ray is a photographer, and that's very much the same with the couple we got coming on today. And once again, going to be a good show. Kevin D. Blockston, what's up, bro?
Yes. Coming here, sneaking during work. Nothing wrong with that.
Yes, sir. So yeah, I haven't even looked at what was going on in NAB this weekend. So I got to definitely go back and look through some YouTube stuff and people I follow and see what was happening. I know a couple of big things I saw was Atomos.
Atomos.
A bunch of stuff. They brought out a remote to connect to the back of pretty much any Atomos to make it
it's a broadcaster. Yeah,
broadcasting automatic. Well, they brought out two. They brought an actual broadcast one out for podcasts that you can attach it to, and then they brought one out that like you can attach your camera real easy mobile. So like as a viewfinder when you're directing and somebody else wants to watch it and so forth, which is a big help because before you had to basically buy a whole another like third party system to set up for it and everything else. So now having something you just attach on the back and just go straight to the camera and you cool. That makes a world of difference.
Like a wireless live streaming joint. So you don't have to connect wires as you're moving around. So that definitely changes the game for that
especially
stuff.
When you're directing and or you're shooting for a director and stuff like that, a lot of commercial stuff, like it's a requirement because like the director wants to be able to watch it wherever else. Yeah. I remember I had one lady, I ain't gonna say her name. She was lazy as heck, bro. She ain't want to come out in the sun. She ain't want to be in the weather. She ain't want to be nothing. So she was like, put that viewfinder way back there. See that tent? Can it reach the tent? I'm in the tent. And I'm like, yes.
Well, all right. That's funny. It's actually really cool too. Like they have like a cloud switching service as well that they're coming out with it. So like it's all going to be integrated. So you could have somebody with the broadcaster, in another state. You could have somebody with the broadcaster, all over the place, and everybody's, goes into the cloud switching device. You can switch it real time in there and broadcast from there. So it's really neat, like what they're doing with it.
Like I follow Philip Bloom, and I doing something with him a long time ago, and he was at NAB, and he's a big Sony guy, and I didn't see too much with Sony, but they showed something new with the Venice, which is their big cinema camera. And is being used in a lot of movies pretty much as we speak, from Top Gun, Avatar, and everything else. So I didn't really get a chance to get deep into what it was, but I'm gonna probably go back and check it out again.
That's what's up.
I'm gonna eventually get to Venice. Eventually I'm gonna buy an $80,000 camera.
Gotta have an $80,000 camera, man. Like everybody needs one of those.
I swear. But, yeah, it's been good. Last thing, was the entertainment news. Of course, all the nonsense from Will Smith and Johnny Depp, and
oh my gosh,
the trial's been going on. Good.
It's crazy.
Not looking good for Amber Heard. I'll say that much. She might face prison time if they found out she lied. If they
she
lied.
It'd be interesting. Be interesting to see how that goes. And then there's Elon Smith. Yeah, definitely free Johnny. And there's
I guess
Twitter.
I will go see. I've heard really good reviews. I didn't get a chance to see yet. The new Michelle Yeoh movie that's out. I'm a huge Michelle Yeoh fan. It is amazing that she has got her own feature-length film in America, that she's the star and lead and everything. That's great. And it hasn't happened for her till she was 60. And she's been doing films and stunts and martial arts and everything else since since 80s.
Oh wow.
Super Cop with Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
So, from Jackie Chan, Crouching Tiger to everything else.
I was about to say Michelle Yeoh's the one that's Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, the star of that one. Yeah.
Yoda lady.
Yeah, she's dope. Yeah, she's
in her 60s now, man.
Yeah.
What was it, Crazy Rich Asians? I mean, she's been in so many movies. So to see her get this leading role, and I've heard nothing but amazing reviews for the movie. The movie's like screwball crazy in a good way, with like multi-dimension crazy. It's called, was it Everywhere and Nowhere or something like that is the name of the title?
I think I did see that. Yeah, I did see it.
So
I didn't see the movie, but I saw
amazing stuff about it. So I'm probably going this weekend to see it, and I guess I'll talk about it more later. But anywho, enough of that. Let's get into it. We got a good show today. We got an awesome guest. So let's just get into it. Roll the intro.
All right. How's it going?
Hey, everybody.
What's up, brother?
How y'all doing?
Very good, man. Very, very good. Glad to have you on. For people that don't know, this is the man right here, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Ed Ward Legacy Studios. Yeah, man, me and Ed have a very interesting relationship and everything in history, how we met, man. So Ed was friends with my cousin, and I met him at, what was it, my little cousin's prom or something like that?
I think prom back then,
that. And he was shooting.
16.
And I mean, I was just there sporting cuz and everything, and he was busting it up a little bit. I was like, oh man, yeah, I do photography and all that too, yeah. And it kind of went from there, and then Ed ended up coming down later to the studio I used to have, and blah, 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 blah. And we just literally been friends ever since, man. And talented photographer. Does it all, literally does it all, whether, from business to celebrities to weddings to events to fashion. I mean, you kind of name it. He's been published a bunch. He's been everything. I don't think there is anything that this man has not shot. And shout out to his lovely wife who is with us as well, Miss Lydia, Looks by Lydia.
Hello, everybody.
And Lydia is a very, very talented makeup artist. Her and Ed have been doing this for quite some time. She once again has done makeup for everybody, man. Once again, weddings, celebrities, business, a little bit of everything. You name it, creative, fashion stuff. You name it, she's done it. She's worked with me a couple times. So yeah,
and
man.
she cute too, right? And she cute too.
Huh?
And she cute too.
So yeah, man. So a little bit of it all, man. So we'll kind of just get right into it. I think I'd like to start with this one since you guys are both on. Of how did you guys? You don't got to tell me the whole story how you met and everything else, but like just kind of where it got to the point of you guys working together as as a duo in makeup and photography and all that, because you guys have been together for a long time.
You can start.
Well, Lydia actually got started before me. As long as I've known her, she's been dabbling in makeup. Her mom is a beauty maven. When I was dating her, her mom was working at Macy's. Was it Macy's? Strawbridge. That's how far they go back. Strawbridge is the clothier, and she worked in the makeup counter there. And when we met, my wife was dabbling into her makeup and stuff like that. So she had already made a name for herself as far as makeup. I came along with photography later on as a professionally. I was always taking pictures, but I was only taking pictures of my family, nothing professionally. So once I decided to do it professionally, me, I was like, hey, let's put this thing together and let's go. And went from there.
Yep.
Nice, man. So tell me a little bit, guys, of just like from just what. No, let's get into this because you guys do a lot. You guys do a whole lot. So kind of break down, I guess, where you guys are at now with it, and what you're doing with the business and kind of where things are going.
Oh wow. So we still work together as a team, but we also do our own individual events and weddings and all too. But for the most part, we generally try, and work as a team. As a partnership, I guess I should say. But yeah, that's kind of.
So she's working on some things for herself. Like I said, we are a unit, but we are our own individual companies as well. So she's working on some things on her end to expand, and I'm getting a little bit older. I'm working on the exit strategy. You know what I mean? I'm training a couple students now that I can send out in my place. And I want to start getting in more. I still want to stay in photography, but I'm more into the real estate part of photography. So I'm working on some things when it comes to that. So those are the next stages.
Tell me about that. What do you mean? What do you mean by the real estate side of photography?
So me and John talked about this briefly. We talk a lot, and me and John been doing this for a while, but I think we've always rented property from other people. We haven't owned our own property, and I think we're both at the point where I'm at the point where I want my own real estate to where I don't have to shoot as much. I have photographers renting my spot, renting the location. I have a vision of how I want my location to look, and what I want it to resemble. So I'm working on some things to get it there so I could just sit back and collect the dividends and not have to actually show up to shoot 7 days a week like I'm doing now.
Makes sense. Definitely makes sense.
Very much on the same tip, my friend. Even in studios that I've owned, as far as like, I'm the proprietor of the studio, but I don't own the building. You know what I mean? And so many issues come with that. Even with other people that we work with and issues they've had in the past, slumlord type situations, or they ain't got all the stuff worked out. And I remember it was one situation. I think Greg was in one where like they had a bunch of inspection stuff was off and they had to shut the building, and then it was like, oh, you can come back this time. Then he couldn't come back because they couldn't pass the inspection and blah 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 blah. I was in a similar situation where like they had to put a whole new sprinkler system, And we were like, well, what's up with that? And he was like, it costs this much money. And I'm like, I can't help you with that, bro. That's ridiculous. Like, what you expect me to do? And he was like, we're going to up everybody's rent. And I was like, so you going to up everybody's rent because you messed? You know what I mean? Nah, bro. So that's what happened to the other. That's one thing that happened to us about a mini.
Actually, had a similar situation, man. I had my my studio.
Yeah,
they had the heater died, and it was in the middle of the winter, and this dude did not want to get that fixed. He didn't want to replace it. He didn't want to get it fixed. It was like an ordeal. Like yeah, that was the worst.
So like I feel it, you know, the fact that renting has certain benefits and leasing as far as certain things with taxes and write-offs that is a little bit more faster than if you own. And I get that and whatever, but it's like as long as we've been doing this and so forth, man, like the benefits of owning and running your own thing, you know what I mean, is high on the list, man. It's a lot of work. It ain't easy because especially as a business proprietor, if you own a large building, commercial building, then the city, they rough with you sometimes. But it's definitely worth it to do it in the long run. Fossil Studio says, oh God, we went through the same thing at our place with no heater. Yes, wow. Fossil has a really gorgeous studio out in Pittsburgh. So
wow. And you know it's bad when I think here where me and John are at, I say no offense to anybody else, so please don't take this as a jab. I think we have the top photographers in Philly in this studio, right? But here you got so you got the top photographers in this studio, but we don't own the real estate. You know what I mean? That's kind of backwards. As much work as we do and the money we make, we should be owning the real estate. You know, so that's the goal.
Yeah. So I agree with that 100%, man. And with you in more ways than one. We shall be talking more with that. But yeah, man. So let's get into it a little bit. One of the biggest things I wanted to talk to you guys about and showcase with you guys and everybody that's on here, some of the people that follow us and probably will tune in later as it goes, is what's up, John Harvell? What's up, all the way from Cali?
Yes, sir.
So we got people on today from Kentucky, Cali, Florida, and Philly so far.
Nice.
And Pittsburgh.
Come on, y'all doing it big. Y'all doing it big.
We're all over. Trying, man. We working on it. But we got a long way to go. We getting there. But anyway, the biggest thing I wanted to really showcase with you guys, both of you, is, and this is something I seriously applaud and I'm sometimes jealous of, your speed. Both of you are very fast, very precise, very professional in what you guys are able to do and accomplish, both on the photography side and makeup. I've seen Lydia, so doesn't sound right, but bang out faces like
that's
literally
right
within. Yeah, this so doesn't sound right. I'm sorry, coming from I'll bang out your face, girl. Like, what?
Hey, when I first time I heard somebody said "beat your face," I was like, "What?"
Okay. Huh? They beat the faces. What?
It's always like one freak boy. Words. But yeah, I've seen Lydia. I've seen you, you know, literally in like 15 minutes. You know what I mean? Where I'll see sometimes makeup artists be like, bro.
I know. I know. I've seen it.
This ain't a wedding, sweet pea.
Right.
Makeup take longer than the shoot.
You know what I mean? A couple times. As well as you, Ed. Just, you know, I've just seen your skill over the years, man, as far as how fast you can just boom, boom, and set up and just go and get it done. And you know what I mean, your turnaround as far as editing and everything else, it's just on point, man. And I don't know a lot of photographers that do what you do, myself included. Where Ed, so to give you guys a little background, the way Ed shoots, and Ed is so precise and so used to just doing what he does and everything else, that when he's done, he turns in everything to the client. Just about everything he shoots is done, perfect, good to go, off to the client. Client's happy. You know, where most photographers is, you know, you got to wait a while, you know, they're only getting like 5 pictures and things like that and everything else. I have, you and Atiba and maybe like 2 other people I know, the only ones that really, Carl too, I'll put in that. Carl we had on the show earlier, was the 2nd episode. You guys are some of the only ones I know that do that. And that's impressive, man. And Yeah, because I can't do that. I gotta sit and I mean, granted, our
can't
work
do
is
what you
different.
do. Right,
our work is different. You know what I mean? Like the composite, it takes more time. It is what it is. But there's a skill to that people just don't understand. To be able to know what you're doing, come in a room, see everything. All right, I need to set up this, blah blah blah, bang, and be able to produce what you produce as quickly as you do. It's a skill, man. So tell us both, you guys, both your sides of it, of just how you've gotten to that, and just all of it.
Well, I'll go first, right? So for me, so I am and used to be a trainer with Sephora. So me having to teach uh, my beauty advisors how to time themselves where it doesn't take a full 2 hours to do one look, especially if it's like a natural look. So it really depends on the look that the client is going for, but it does not take a whole hour and a half to do a single look. And I've had to learn that skill myself. You know, like say if I'm using a product, like you have to use quality products to where you don't have to go back and forth like over and over again to get, the eyebrows done, or you don't have to use three different foundations to get one look. It's learning your product and understanding the client's face, and understanding what goes with what to be quick, because time is money, and I don't like, and I want to get it done, to where, and so for instance, weddings. If I have 7 girls, I cannot spend an hour on each face. I can't do it. I have to get my time to at least 25 to 30 minutes, because they have to be on time, and they're not going to be blaming Lydia for for being late to the wedding. So I've learned how to master it by having quality products and understanding skin and understanding what works with what. So like say if I know that this person's skin has some texture. Okay, so I know that I got to spend the extra couple minutes on getting this client's skin, the skin right. Like I may not spend a whole lot of time on the eyeshadow, or may not spend a whole lot of time on contouring, but I'm going to make sure that her texture is right, her eyeshadow looks good, or so you kind of have to learn that, as an artist, and just like you all, like from being that creative, where you can cut a corner or 10. So, but I've learned that, over years of experience.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Yeah, and you, Ed, just tell us a little bit about just kind of how you do what you do, man. As far as like, I know a lot of it's just experience and been doing a thing. But if you were to, once again, a lot of people that are watching the show are, learning and growing and so forth, and part of like our group on Facebook and a bunch of other stuff. So, what advice would you give to a photographer and people that are trying to, get to that level?
I mean, as far as like, so for me, John, with me, and those who don't know, I literally shoot probably 7 days a week, which is not always a good thing. It's a bad thing because I'm getting older, right? So 7 days a week, some days I'm shooting for 8, right? Some days I'm shooting 8 hours. I don't have the time to sit down and spend an hour, 2, 3 hours on one picture editing, right? So I'm a stickler on how I want my photo to look before I even leave the studio. That's why with me, you can't even do a photo shoot with me unless you have a professional makeup artist. I'm not doing a little shoot with anybody who says, "Oh, I got a girlfriend who's going to do my makeup artist," or "I'm going to do my own makeup." It's not happening. It has to be a makeup artist, and preferably one of my makeup artists, if not Lydia, a substitute that's somewhat comparable, or somebody who's good that I know of. So then that way they already know how I want the makeup done before we start shooting. I make sure they have, sometimes I try to make sure they have stylists. And I've just been doing this long enough to know how to set up my lighting to resemble the look I'm going for. I know Like even with John, the picture he's putting up now, you know, I know how I wanted that to look, so I knew how I wanted to set up the lighting to get that look. So if I do any editing, it's very, very, very minimum, if that, and my turnaround time can be the next day. You know, the only time I spend time on stuff is weddings, and that's really just to give them, you know, give me some time. I could really turn in a wedding the next day or two, but I'm just not going to do that. But it's just years of being around good people, learning stuff. You know, I've always surrounded myself around greats, you know, to learn certain techniques and different things. You know, John will tell you, John will have a shoot, and I ain't got nothing to do that. I'm coming and sit on your shoot. And I'll come and sit on John's shoot just to see what lighting technique he got set up, you know, and see, let me see how that works. You know what I mean? If I like the lighting setup, okay, I'm gonna add that. I know what look that's gonna give me, and I'll do that. So I'm pretty consistent with the lighting. You know, I know how to do a shoot with 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and I know what each one is gonna give me. You know, I would love to do what John does. I would love to do what John does because his stuff to me is art, but I don't have the time to put in to do that type of stuff. I just don't have that time. So
I feel you. Sometimes I don't have the time, and I wish I could turn things some more faster than the way you do. So I definitely understand, man. You know, it's different disciplines and all that, and that's understandable. To what different people do in photography and all that, and I think it's necessary to have both skills. But there is something, and I've seen people try and knock sometimes photographers that don't do like heavy editing and are just are pristine on their photography, right? I've seen both sides. I've seen people who are pristine on their photography who kind of like, editors, if you got to edit that much, you suck. And I've seen vice versa, like, well, you don't know how to edit, so you suck. You know what I mean? So I've seen both.
It's kind of like the natural light versus strobes.
Exactly,
argument.
like some natural light being like natural light's better. At the end of the day, it's different disciplines for different things. They give different looks, they're different styles, different genres, different everything. I don't think one is right or wrong. I think it's good to know both of them. To be honest, I don't think you should be less than one than the other. But we all got our strengths and our weaknesses in what we do, as well as just our overall style and look and so forth. But I'm just big on saying that because for a lot of people who may be watching or just getting into it or whatever, that are looking to transfer over to professional work, right? There's still, no matter what you're doing, no matter what your discipline is, let's say it does take you hours to edit because you're doing whatever crazy stuff, whatever, you still have to have a level of skill of consistency and speed. Even then with doing, heavy composite work or whatever, like you still got to have speed with it. You know what I mean? Your clients don't want to hear it. I don't care what you're doing. So the faster
and
you
don't
can
get it twisted. Don't get it twisted, because I see John has a specialty, right? So he can take his time to do certain things, or make sure he edits all his pictures because he has a specialty. What I've noticed, though, there are a lot of photographers, and I've seen this firsthand, that simply can't shoot, right?
Yeah.
So because they can't shoot, then that's why I'm only going to give you 3 pictures that are edited, because I can't give you all my pictures because all the pictures are trash. So you definitely got to make sure that you fine tune the fundamentals before you even consider getting into editing.
Now I'm really interested in that because there's kind of 2 schools of thought on how many pictures delivered for especially like a portrait session. What do you do price wise for how many pictures you deliver? Because I deliver a small amount of pictures, but I'm a heavy editor, so I do a lot of stuff with my edits. So what do you do price wise for people who want that you may shoot? I don't know how many pictures you take, but I might shoot 500 pictures in a session or something like that. How do you do that price wise?
So what I do now is, I charge by the look, right? So say I have my package, I charge $400 for 3 looks, right? With those 3 looks, you're going to get all the pictures. You're going to get all the pictures delivered to you, this, that, and the other. One, like I said, I don't have time for me to send you the pictures. You look at all of them, then say, I want this edited. Did I edit this? I don't have that type of time. So I will go ahead and send them all the pictures. And most 9 times out of 10, people rock with those pictures and they love them like that, right? If they decide that they want additional editing or retouching or something different than what I gave them, then I charge a certain amount per retouch or per edit after what I gave them. Because of what I gave, if I take 500 pictures, literally you could post all 500 of those pictures.
And he's not lying on that, folks. Like his work, he's crazy consistent, very consistent, man.
Do you cull your pictures? Like, do you go through and like select out the stuff that you feel like is not good enough, that doesn't come up to your standard, or you just?
I won't even put them in the batch. So
okay, so
if you ever watch me shoot, I'll go and I'll shoot. First of all, I spend a lot of time in setting up how I want the lighting to look. I'll spend a long time, and one of the reasons why a lot of kids like me for senior pictures, I'll get up in a minute and fix your hair, fix your clothes, make sure everything is straight, because I'm not doing that post edit, right? So I'm gonna make sure your hair is straight, make sure your pose is straight. You know what I'm saying? I'll do that. So then when you get the pictures, say if I take a picture and it's off, the eyes are closed, right? Or it's dark, I delete it off my camera before I load it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So then when I load it, anything I load and it makes to my computer, it's good. It's ready to go. Now, what John just posted, that's a retouch or edit that I'll do. That's a specialty that I'll offer for like sports and dancers and stuff like that. But then they pay extra for that.
Right.
I learned that from John. John taught me how to do that too.
That's funny. That's what's up. No, that's really interesting, because you're probably the second one. We actually had Omari, who we had on a couple episodes ago. He's the same way. Like when I went out to shoot with him, he was like, "Okay, I got to get these photos cleaned so I can send them out the next day." And he next day edit and next day sent out everything. And I'm like, it didn't even compute for me. Like I'm like, what do you mean? that's all you're doing. And I learned that a lot of people care a lot less than I give them credit for. Like they don't necessarily even see the difference between a highly edited photo and an unedited photo. And it's like I actually there's a lady I just shot with, and I sent her the pictures, and it was a mistake on my part. I didn't put the word proof over the pictures in the batch, and she was like, "These are good," and she posted. I'm like, okay, and the million likes on the pictures, and she was happy with them. And I'm like, I didn't have to do anything with these. Like I didn't do anything to these. Like I didn't. They were even like off. Like I would have at least cropped them, so there's some stuff in there that wasn't straight enough for me. But other than that, she was good with them. I was like, okay.
Yeah, usually the rule of thumb I usually tell people with some of this stuff is like, usually the way I see it is that it's not always like this, but it tends to play out fairly often like this, where if it's a lower paying client in a sense, right? Meaning that they're looking just to do kind of like a normal photo shoot, something like that, whatever. Then or an event or whatever it may be. Usually it's in the ballpark of they want more quantity than quality.
Yeah.
They just want a lot of pictures. And as long as they're decent, good enough to post, whatever, a little bit better than a camera phone, whatever, they're happy. And then clients that are really high end business, whatever, some big business hired you, some some person that was rich that wants some crazy art looking portrait or whatever it may be, then they want more quality. And they're not going to mind as much spending a little bit more time or whatever, because they hired you specifically for whatever type of look or whatever you're achieving and so forth. So that's usually how I kind of see it. Like you know, the jobs I get paid bigger on and is like more of the crazy work and all that kind of stuff and takes a long time. Sometimes I work with a team and all this other kind of stuff. You know, those jobs are paying like a couple grand. You know what I mean? For one photo.
Right.
But it's the quality of that one photo that's going out for ad and marketing and all this other kind of stuff that does what it does. You know what I mean? And I've had a few like just rich people who come a couple times and wanted me to do some crazy stuff. So they don't mind the time and the quality. But everyone else and that just wants a normal photo shoot, even down to a model per se, a lot of times they just want quantity. And as long as that quantity is just, you know, basically better than an iPhone, you know, then it's like, cool, we're good.
and it's a quantity and speed. Like they want them quickly as well. Like they'll be like, I want a lot and I want them fast. And it's like, okay.
And especially my clientele, I got a lot of, you know, I deal with all types of clientele, but a lot of my clientele are like older people and preachers and this, that, the other. These people want to hurry up because they have deadlines to make. So they want to hurry up and get the deadline. Some of them make me mad because they'll post a picture and the light stand is still in the picture.
So let's do a little better than that.
And I'm like, wait a minute, listen, that was what you were supposed to get edited. You know what I mean? That's not what you were supposed to post. You know what I mean? But that shows you that they really don't care about quality. You know what I mean? They care, you know, but I can't say that. Let me correct that.
They don't see it.
They can't see it. They literally can't tell the difference.
Right.
Even photographers though, like I'm training somebody now. So we did a training session on. I made her get a MacBook, a hard drive, this, that, and the other. So I'm showing her how to load the pictures in Lightroom, right? And I did a quick edit in Lightroom. She literally couldn't tell the difference in what I just did, right? And I had her look. I turned it off and then I turned it back on. And she's a photographer and she couldn't tell the difference. So, and if you're a photographer, you can't tell the difference. Imagine with the average person. Now, don't get me wrong. That's if you're good for, you know what you're doing. Now, if you're a trash photographer, you're going to see the difference.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you pretty much know what you're doing, they're not going to be able to know.
Yeah, you can't let's focus.
Real quick, I want to add to what one of our listeners is tuning in, Jay Harvell. John's out of California. He's been real big on film lately. Yeah. So he's been shooting with actual film and photography and playing around with that. And what he says is that is why I love shooting film and taking that mentality to digital. Slow down to set up lighting, and I can already visualize the picture even before it's taken, which I will say is a good practice and something that I'm kind of pissed off is kind of gone from colleges and schools. So if you was somebody that was going to school, whether for photography or film or you know, video, you know, movies or any of that kind of stuff, one thing that pisses me off is they almost all the colleges got rid of their film programs. Yeah, meaning that they don't shoot with actual film anymore. They all just switch to digital cameras and that, and it is becoming the standard. But there are still movies and whatever that shot film. Wait, the point is that, well, two things with that before I even get into it. A lot of movies are still shot on film. You can't even step to Quentin Tarantino or anybody and call yourself a cinematographer and you don't know how to shoot with film. For one. Two, most top magazines are only taking film photographers right now.
Interesting.
Specifically Elle,
like Vogue,
Vogue, I'm sorry, and a couple others. If you look at most of the photographers that are shooting, especially the one black kid that's really young, that shot for Beyonce, he shoots for Beyonce and everybody else. He shoots on film. He shoots on the Pellerex, the box looking joint.
Yeah, look down on. Yeah.
Wow.
So I will still say film is very, very current. It is something I think everybody should learn. I had to learn in college. I was literally the last year of my school before they got rid of it. And it was one of the best things because you can't mess up on film. Because if you mess up, you got to pay for it.
Right.
Literally.
There's no going back. There's no deleting it. That roll of film has that many pictures on it, and that's it.
And John, this is why when we started, how long you been doing this now?
As far as photography, I would say 10 years, maybe a little bit longer. I did graphic design for longer. For film, it's been
John's
like 20.
And John's 10, 20 years. I've been doing it about 15. When we started, there were probably a good 7 to 8, 9, 10 dope photographers in this area, right? Now you got about 10,000 because everybody just these cameras from the door
Barrier of
take good
entry.
pictures. I
Yep.
mean, if you get a mirrorless camera and you get a mirrorless camera, you pretty much can take a flawless picture with the mirrorless camera if you know how to adjust to certain things in your camera. So these guys ain't thinking, they haven't took the turn to learn lighting, composition, this, that. Like I'm trying to teach the basics that a lot of these people don't even have because these cameras have made it too easy.
Seriously, and
So
that goes
imagine, like you
right.
said, so imagine film. Imagine if they still have film, there wouldn't be this many photographers.
Oh,
There
heck
couldn't
no.
be.
Heck
No.
no.
The
And
barrier
shout
to
out,
entry is so low now.
and
Like the price, the memory cards, you can shoot, 4,000 pictures on a memory card. So yeah, that entry is
and shout out to Lisa, who's segueing right into what we're talking about right now. She said it's the world of instant gratification. I very much agree with you. Lisa is out of Kentucky. Lisa shoots equestrian, which is horses. She mainly shoots for like the Kentucky Derby and all that kind of stuff, and she takes amazing portraits and stuff of
oh my
horses.
gosh.
Yeah, ever see her work is really nice.
That's so
yeah, so I agree with you, Ed, and I'll kind of jump in with that too, man. It's getting weird right now because mirrorless cameras, even some of these programs is coming out, right? Luminar and some of these other joints and these artificial intelligence joints and everything else is happening, and it's making it easier and easier and easier to the point that it's almost phasing out photographers to an extent. And then the other thing that's happening is it's creating kind of what you just said, false pros. It's creating people who are thinking they're pros, but it's like even dudes who I see who are really good and all their work is really good and consistent. But then you look at like they'll list out their settings and everything, their ISO. I'm like,
why'd
you would never be able to get away with those settings if you didn't have a digital mirrorless, camera that can do all this stuff.
Right.
Like
Why
if you
would
had a film, or even if you had just an older camera, you would never be able to do that.
Dude.
So it's like, can you shoot, or you just don't, or not so much you don't know what you're doing, but you manipulating the fact that you can because of what the cameras can do, which is not a bad thing. That's what they're for. But it's like
it is a bad thing because it's a bad thing on their part, and it's a bad thing that people don't know the difference. Saturday, I had some clients come in from out of town, so I said, let's go to Temple campus to shoot your pictures, right? So I was sitting there waiting for them to come, and man, it was all these people out here taking graduation pictures, and I had to see about 10 photographers out there shooting. So you know me, I'm nosy, right? So I'm going, hey, what you shooting? Let me see what you got there. And I'm looking at their pictures, and I'm like, come on, this is trash. I'm like, and I said, all right, you want me showing you something different? So I helped about 4 different people. I said, well, won't you try this? Won't you try that? And they're all, thank you. I appreciate that, this, that, the other. But it bothered me that it was that many people in this small circle of Temple campus. It was that many photographers shooting these people. I was annoyed.
I agree. Jay Harville says digital is dying. Everything is looking the same. With film, you can't duplicate someone way because it's all analog from exposure to developing. Yeah. I get what you mean.
Everything is so precise. Like that photo that you took is that photo you took. You can't copy somebody's style necessarily with analog the same way you
can with digital. What's his name? Jay Harville?
John.
Yeah.
Joe, and that's crazy that you said that, bro, because that's why I think I stand out from a lot of my counterparts, because a lot of my counterparts all edit the same. Everybody's picture is the same, so they don't know. You wouldn't know who shot it because they all look the same.
Yep.
I don't want to look like everybody else. Yep. My stuff is going to be stand out different. It's going to be clean, cut, and look natural, and you won't be. I don't want you to be able to tell Ed Ward shot that.
Right.
And you know what? I'll chime in on that a little bit and say, like, I think what's kind of starting to happen to visual and photography, especially, not so much film just yet, just because film and video still got a few more steps to make. But
yeah,
with digital, with photography, I feel like photography is starting to fall into the same problems music has. right now, right? Where everybody sounds the same because everybody's digital. And so because it's going off of zeros and ones, whether it's a machine, a computer, whatever you're making your beat on and everything else, it can only go to, it has to still follow some kind of similar pattern that was already formed compared to a musician that can just wing it. You know what I'm saying? And film and using other types of things and knowing what you're doing, it allows you to kind of wing things to create your thing. You know what I mean? That you just can't do in digital. It doesn't work the same way.
You know what it is too? The fact that you can make presets. So you can't make a preset for analog. There is no such thing as a preset. Like I can't say, I want the Fronos Photo Fro Pack 2 so I can get these Fro Pack colors on my pictures. Then just import Jared Poland's color science into my pictures. Or I can't do that with an analog picture. Like there's no I'm going to adjust the white balance to -4, and then I'm going to put the contrast up to 13, and those settings be exactly the same on every single picture, and I get the same results as somebody else who shot basically the same way. You know what I mean? Like you can't, like with a when I dipped this picture into the chemicals for 14 seconds rather than 14.2 seconds, that changes the quality and the way the image looks when you pull it out of the chemicals. Like that, all that stuff is different, and you can't duplicate it. It's not duplicatable because I'm a different person. That's I think the same thing happens in music too. Like I can download somebody else's drum set. I can download somebody else's beat pattern or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not a musician, so I don't know like all of that stuff, but it's the presets, man. Like I can get somebody else's LUT or preset or whatever and just import it into my image so it gets that look. And people aren't making their own looks.
I agree.
Yeah, that's sad.
I agree, man. It's something to be said to shoot natural and do your thing. Lydia, tell us a little bit, because one thing once said, like we try and call this the Cre8tive Pit. I know we're a lot of photographers here and all that.
I'm actually learning some things too. No, I'm actually learning. I'm like, wait, what is that? What is that? It's interesting though.
But we definitely try not to cater it just to photography and kind of all visual creatives. So give us a little bit of just like we're sitting here talking about advice for photographers. What's some advice you would give to some makeup artists? Some things to look out for, pros and cons. Because I'll give you an example. Like plenty of makeup artists I work with, and they learn off of YouTube, they learn off of whatever, which I'm not knocking. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? We all, some of us got our skills, and some amazing photographers are just off of learning from YouTube University. So I ain't hating on it. But, you tend to see where people fall into traps, or they fall into bad ways of doing things, right? Like, for instance, one of the big ones I see a lot of times, the makeup artists, is the giant streak on the side, to the point that they look like some 80s, like Jim and the Holograms type stuff. And it's like, what are you doing? And then making work harder for us when we edit it and so forth. So like, what are some of what's some of the advice you would give to makeup artists and so forth?
We lost sound.
Ed, what did you hit?
I apologize. This one,
there we go.
Somebody on Do Not Disturb.
Somebody
I'm
tried to call my
sorry.
phone.
We should have put this.
Somebody tried calling.
We should have
that's all
Do
good.
Not Disturb. So after the giant streak, what did you say after that? I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh, just like like sometimes I'll see makeup artists, they'll do like this giant like streak, and like that's like I guess their measuring point, whatever the hell it is. And then like I got the person looking like they're from like an 80s glam band and like some Jim and the Holograms type stuff. So like what's some of this stuff? Took it back right there, right? What's some advice you would give to makeup artists and what to do?
It is so much that I could say, and I really think that I'm truly going to start whether it's a YouTube channel or whether it is a podcast, like an ode to like old school makeup artists. Like I learned from the old school way. I did not go to YouTube University. I cannot stand watching these YouTube makeup artists because they are doing makeup on themselves. And for me, as a makeup artist, I learned from doing makeup on other people on how to like contouring does not work for every single body. There's people that you have to do more highlighting as opposed to contouring, but everybody sees things on YouTube and sees it on this individual because that's what she's doing on herself. They're doing the dark hair and the dark hair. So if your forehead is very short, I'm not going to contour here because there's nothing to contour. You actually want to highlight it to bring it forward. It's just a whole thing, and I don't want to be a disgruntled makeup artist because I have been doing this so long. But and there's things that you can learn.
It's okay.
From,
we go there.
She's
there's
really nice.
Things that I can learn. No, I'm nice, nasty.
Tell them what you really want to say.
This is what I really want to say.
This is a
Don't
safe space.
give it up. Give it up.
Oh.
Oh, jeez. Say quit it.
I feel like there's people that I can look at and say, oh, like she still has some learning that she has to do, or like stick to doing makeup on yourself. Like you don't know how to do makeup on other people. So my thing is, I would say learn how to do makeup for other people, not just for yourself. Yes, like I can do my own faces very, very well because I know my own face. But can you do somebody that's Asian? Can you do somebody that's African or European?
Has dark
or,
skin, yeah.
That has deeper skin. Can you like you have to learn angles. You have to study. I learned from Bobby Brown and Sam Fine. This was back in the early '90s. So this is when books were in the library. This is when I went to the library to get a book, and I was in college, and I loved Bobby Brown. She is a makeup artist, and she still practices, and still has her own line. And she was all fingers. She used to do makeup with a finger, and she is phenomenal. And that's how I learned, and also reading books, and when Essence used to have their own makeup page, makeup page in the magazine. Like I would go and study and try and find the products, and just figure it out. But and I guess that's a way that they're doing it now. But I feel like I learned how to do makeup on other people, not just myself. So that's what I was saying.
And not to be preferential, but Lydia is probably my favorite makeup artist for one reason. Forget all the bells and whistles, color matching. People these makeup artists don't know how to match skin tones.
Yeah. Well, I'm a very visual person too. So and I feel like that's a more masculine trait. Like a lot of men, are very. I'm not saying that I'm a man. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying, I'm a very visual person. So when I see color, like you have to match hair to hair. It freaks me out when I see the foundation doesn't match. And it's John, do you remember that photo shoot that you and I did? I was like, John ruined my makeup. Where's my makeup? Do you remember that?
What happened? I'll try to find some examples.
She's hot.
Dude, you remember that photo shoot? Do you remember that photo shoot? I was like, John, where's all the makeup?
Which one?
Because you put this thing on the girl, and I was so into that look.
He made it into
like you created this whole look for this girl.
I'm trying to remember which one.
She had like the sword and and she was in like this Japanese fort. I don't know, with these things.
Oh, with Summer. I think you did it with Summer.
Yeah, I don't know, but everything about the makeup changed, and I was like, "Where's my makeup?" So I'm very.
I'm trying to remember which one.
That's funny.
I can't remember.
One of our first photo shoots, and I'm like that with Ed too. Like I'm very particular about my work and the way things match.
My bad. It probably because I was doing like composite work stuff, which means like I gotta change the whole color and everything to match. That's probably what happened. My bad.
She said you messed it up. That's funny.
Because she don't understand that part, and see, she gets mad at me sometimes because she'll do flawless makeup on.
There's one other thing that I have to say. So working with a photographer, I've also learned a certain aspect of makeup too. So there's times where I think that I had enough blush on the client, and it was like, no, it's not showing up. Or like I've looked at other pictures of other photographers. I'm like, oh, okay, well now I get it. You know, like sometimes you have to go a little bit heavier because once you get to that, what's it, 5D, 4D, what was it, 5K, 4K?
Oh, you're
I don't
meaning
know,
like
whatever.
once the megapixels of the camera get
Yes.
higher and
Oh
higher, you
my
start seeing
gosh.
more.
It looks like nothing.
We're
Okay.
gonna
I
talk
was
about
telling
that in a
her.
second.
It looks like
So
absolutely
real
nothing.
quick, I
Like,
want to make
okay,
sure
so
I
I
get
had
this
to
in.
learn.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Real quick, I want to make sure I get this in because Lisa asked, "What advice would you give a photographer to understand about about makeup artists?"
What advice would you give a photographer to understand more about a makeup artist? Like, so
I guess she
go a
means
little
like
more.
working with makeup artists and like, is there any good advice you could give her so when
Make
she's
sure they're a makeup
working
artist.
with makeup
Yeah.
artists, they're not, you know, she's not
Making sure they're
crossing a line.
make sure they're a professional makeup artist.
Right. And there's also communication too. Like you have to communicate. Like I feel like to make sure that your vision and tell me if I'm answering the question. So make sure that the vision is both aligned too, right?
So this is what
Because
I would say to her. A lot of times, because Lydia right now, she still works a full-time job at Sephora, right? So a lot of times when people book me and she can't get off, if I can't get one of my other preferred makeup artists, or people say I have a makeup artist, I ask them, are they a professional makeup artist and do they know how to do photo shoot makeup
but
or
that's a
movie
judgment
makeup?
call.
No,
But that's a judgment call because makeup artists can actually say, oh, like I am a professional makeup. What makes you a
no, but what I
professional?
mean is this. John, you could attest to this, and my man. There's a difference between, because there's a lot of girls, like you just said, can do their own face and they look gorgeous going out. You know, they
Mm-hmm.
beat to the gods, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't resonate on camera. Or you ever shot somebody and you seen them at a club or a party, right? And they look really good. And you took a picture of them, and it bounced back off of
Yeah.
them, and they
It's
glow
like
in the
this is
dark
white. This is.
like a ghost, because that wasn't photo shoot makeup. You know what I mean? That was her going out on the night on the town makeup.
That
You know
was
what I'm saying?
what that's what Ray's wife was telling us
Yeah.
about.
So Ray
It has-
Alvarez. I'm sorry. You go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what his wife was telling us that if it has an SPF in it, it'll reflect light back. And that's yep. Yeah, that makes sense.
There
Yeah,
was there was a picture of J Lo. I think it was J Lo that was years ago, and this is when she had the SPF, and it was the worst picture. Oh, it was awful, and I felt so bad. Like you can't use things. Well, like a lot of products that have mica and the SPFs because that reflects the light, so it shows up white.
I got an idea, John. This is what we should do, y'all. You see how she uses all these terms I ain't never heard of, the biker and all that stuff. We should have a questionnaire when we interview makeup artists.
No, yeah, that's too much.
No, that's not a bad idea.
That actually is
That's not a bad
knowing
idea.
what kind of knowing what kind of makeup they're
That's
using.
not a bad idea.
Is I think is important, more important than I ever realized until Ray's wife said something about SPF. I would have had no idea that was a thing at all.
Yeah.
No,
Yep,
that's not a bad
sure
idea
is.
at all, bro. Seriously.
Sure is.
And
because
John, John knows how to add all that stuff, right? So for me, I'm not adding all that. I'm not.
I don't
so
mean I want to do it.
That's time.
Extra, okay? Right.
But even like outside, me and my wife will get into it every now and then. Because if I have a photo shoot outside and she'll do the makeup, she may have done it for studio. And I'm like, no, I need you to do X. She may look like a clown to you in person, but it's not going to look like that when I take the picture because it's already going to, between being outside, and the lights and this, that, the other, she's going to blend in and it's not going to stand out. I want to see the contour. Like I want to see the definition.
That was one individual client.
There's a couple of them.
We have a creative difference when it comes to
Tell me about that. Like if you tell me about what are some differences you would say there are between makeup for studio light and then makeup for outside. How would you
pause
differentiate?
on that. I see a good question here for a second. Lisa asked, I've never heard of mica. What is mica?
Mica is a mineral. It's a light reflecting mineral. So you ever seen like those gray rocks with those little silvery shiny particles in it?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's what mica is, and that's in makeup
Oh,
to
okay.
bounce the light back or to make it light
More
reflecting.
luster.
There's a yeah, yep.
So you have to
Like
read to
a
make
lot
sure
of setting powders
it's
have
in it.
it. Yeah.
Hmm.
You could look up products that have light reflecting or photo shoot ready, like makeup like that. But
Interesting.
NARS and Makeup Forever. Makeup Forever is actually a movie studio. That brand Smashbox and Makeup Forever was birthed from a photography studio. So those
Oh.
brands are excellent.
Wait a
Yeah.
second. Hold.
Smashbox
Smash.
especially.
Smashbox
Smashbox.
and Makeup Breads.
Yeah, those and NARS are like my like go to brands. Like say when I was working on set, I knew Makeup Forever would not let me down. I
Hmm.
knew that Smashbox would not let me down
Interesting.
because that's my reputation.
Ray,
Right.
that's cheating. I can't
No,
do that. A lot of my boys do that. That's cheating.
it's not.
That's
It's
cheating, man.
not. It's not cheating.
It's
Like I've been
the reason why I cheat
so
because it's not your word. It's
You
not
mean
my word.
retouching?
Can't see what that says.
hiring a
No,
So,
if I
retoucher.
hire,
Ray
Hiring
Albert
a
says,
retoucher.
"Time is money. Spend more time at home, relaxing. Hire that retoucher."
It's-
So I'll go. You go ahead first, and I'll go.
No, no, that's something that we've been talking. I think I've talked to you about it, John. Like it's been something that I've been running through my head for a while. Is letting go of the retouching, and it's something that's it's really integral to my style as a photographer is how I retouch.
Yeah, he's your
But
style specifically.
yeah, but there's certain things that I feel like I don't necessarily have to do, and there's probably people who are better at it than me that would make sense to hand that work off to. So my skin edits, it doesn't necessarily make sense for me to do that, especially on stuff that's really fast turnaround. If I just send that out to somebody who specifically does retouching, they're going to be faster at it. It's going to get done faster, and they're probably going to be better at it because that's their focus. They care
so let
about
me ask you this
retouching.
then. Let me ask you this question. Let's be
Hmm.
real.
Hmm.
Say you hire a retoucher to do that. When you post a picture, do you say retouching by such and such?
No, and this
No,
is
you just
why.
post your picture like it's your work. So people hire you thinking it's your work, and it's not.
But he still took the
But this,
picture
No,
though.
but he could have took a trash picture
But
and a retoucher.
that's kind of to
but,
me is the
but
same
Fact.
this is,
idea as putting a
I'm actually
filter
getting
on.
ready to speak on that in a
but, but
second.
this
So go
is,
ahead.
but this is my view on it. Anytime I pay somebody to do work for me, it's now my project. So if I work on a project for L'Oreal, they're not necessarily going to say in the advertisement, this is a photo by Cre8ive Photography. They're going to say this is L'Oreal's product. They don't care,
Now,
who
see,
the
that's a problem. You're one of those photographers that you don't care if people give you photo credit or tag you on your photos.
if they paid me for it, no, I don't care.
So I'm gonna add something to that real quick, right? And real quick, I'm gonna let's say what Ray added a little bit more to that. He said, touch it, add your color grade and etc., and let them retouch it, and then finish it off with your flair. It's still
Agreed.
yours.
Agreed.
So this is what I'll say to it, and this is somebody who has worked for some of the big companies doing some of this stuff. When you're doing stuff for the really big companies, let's say like a L'Oreal, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a say. You're just being hired to take the pictures. You can take the pictures and you can edit it. They're still going to give it to their editor because they have a very specific way on how they want their stuff to look and how they want their consistency, whatever, or however they did the campaign, however they brought in marketing company. Like they're very specific with all that stuff, right? We want this cream vlazor with this whatever bouquet for color grade, so everything matches to the tone of whatever. They get that deep with it. So a lot of times it doesn't matter what you do, they're still going to retouch it. Another perfect example is like some of the fashion weeks. Like if you do like a Paris Fashion Week, whatever, and you're sitting into some of the big magazines, it's the same deal. Like when, like, let's say Getty or some of them, right? They say, I worked with Getty before. When they send in their pictures, they don't do anything. They just take a gazillion pictures and send them in. And the magazines have their own retouchers that do it. So you don't really have a choice anyway. So, it all depends as far as that goes.
It's up to the photographer, bro. Because like for me, I've been offered to shoot for Getty. I've been offered to shoot for different this, that, and the other. I tell people all the time, right? The only way to get your name out there and get global recognition is word of mouth and advertising, right? So if I took that, so John will tell you, all of my work is paid. I rarely get to do TFP and collaboration work where I can be creative. I rarely, if any, get to do that, right? So it's all client work. So everybody pays me. Mm-hmm. If I took that stance and said, hey, you know what? They paid me. I got paid for it. I don't care if they post me, tag me, this, that, and the other. Nobody would ever know who Ed Ward was. Mm-hmm. Nobody, because there would be no word of mouth. It was just, they posted their stuff and didn't say anything. We get to where we're at by recognition and word of mouth. We wouldn't get to those New York Fashion Weeks or L'Oreal. All those people we work for, L'Oreal, they said, listen, I heard about you. You know what I mean? Somebody told me about you. All my people, when they call me, they say, I was referred by XYZ. Mm-hmm. Or I seen the work you did with XYZ. If I don't put that demand on it, then how do they know about you?
Go ahead.
So Lisa actually just kind of says something that goes to that a little bit. She says, APA states you can enter a print in competition with retouching by third party as long as you direct the retouching, which I have seen more times than I can count. I got one chance to be around and worked with. Well, I didn't really work with him. I was just kind of there on set, and my boy was retouching for him. Oh shoot, what's his name? He was big. He was like the dude that kind of technically started Instagram, but then they like gypped him, and then he ended up not doing. He's a real famous photographer for like sports. He's got a big YouTube following. I forget his name off the top of my head. That's so bad. But he's like that. He'll come in with the fancy, ginormous Hasselblad and all that. You know what I mean? Whatever, direct the shot, whatever crazy stuff, blah, 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 bling, and hand it right over to a retoucher. And the retoucher's like sitting right next to him. So like literally he takes the shots, goes right to capture one, retoucher gets it, throw it right in Photoshop, and they go into work all in real time. Like while he's shooting, they're retouching. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying like that's what they do. And he gets all the recognition and whatever. And I mean, he gives his retouchers recognition, but it's like it's not the same.
You can think of it this.
No, answer this question for me. So if I go out, right, I say, you know what, I'm gonna go cook dinner. What's your name again, bro?
Rob.
Rob and John. Okay, I'm gonna cook dinner tonight for Rob and John, right? So I go to the grocery store. I buy all these fixes. I know what I want to make for y'all. I buy all this food, and then Lydia cooks it. I give it to her. She cooks it, right? And then y'all come over. All this food was good. Who made your meal?
Well, depends. So Lydia, of course, made the meal, but this is how I see this. It's how you want to be seen. Am I a individual artist, or am I a business? Am I a company? So if you are Timberland doesn't necessarily make all of the beats that are produced by Timberland. Same thing with Dr. Dre. Same thing with Dr. Dre.
Well, Diddy ain't even a producer. That's a whole nother story.
Right. Same thing with Diddy. All these people, they don't produce the beats that have their names on them. Same thing with designers. You know what I mean? Louis Vuitton doesn't make Louis Vuitton stuff.
Gucci. So I just watched House of Gucci, and they show how they hired all these designers.
So it's all about how I want to be seen. Am I the business, and I'm the name that's going on, and I'm the brand. I'm a brand versus necessarily the artist. If I could train, a different person to give things my look, then I would have absolutely no problem with paying them to do it, and just taking the photos. I'd rather do that because at some point, like you were saying earlier, like you want to step away from being the photographer. You're looking for your exit strategy. If you're doing it as a brand, then you aren't necessarily in charge of, but your name's still on everything. You know what I mean? You're not necessarily doing the work, but you are the person who gets the accolades and for putting out the product. It's still you. You're the one who coordinated everything.
I'm not agreeing because
the examples you guys are giving are people who are well-known, established entities that don't have the time so they can get these people, but they're still going to hire that brand. My man, before John introduced you to me, have you ever heard of Ed Ward?
Me? No, just nope.
Exactly. You never heard of Ed Ward, right? Because I'm not there yet. You know what I mean? So the only way you're going to know about Ed Ward and his work is to say, yo, John, I got to introduce you to somebody. This is my man. He does this. If John doesn't make the introduction, then I go unheard of. So it's the same thing with the retouching thing. Now, once I become who I want to be, then and I'm globally, then I can hire this, that, one, that, this, that, the other, because you're still going to know who I am. But until then, I want people to know my name. I want to introduce, I did this, I did the work, this, that, the other. I don't want to have to share that with someone else.
Funny, Ray Alvarez is added to that too. We getting it in right now. I enjoy this. Lots of the photographers who inspire us or who are on a higher level use retouchers. I got too busy. I needed a retoucher for my peace of mind, my freedom, and burnout. I can understand that, right? This is how I feel about it, and I've worked on both sides of it.
Yeah, we get busy.
My side, it's weird. I've never been hired as like a straight up retoucher or straight up like edit this for me. Let me rephrase.
I heard you.
I've been hired. You've hired me, but let me rephrase that. I don't really get hired that much because a lot of photographers like they want to hire me, and then I'll say my price and they'll go, oh, whatever. But point is but I've been hired on teams, which is very different. And that's there we go. Sony.
That was my question.
What
oh wow! My question was: Are the retouchers in different countries, or are they in the US?
That's the nice thing about they can be
literally whoever.
Yeah. Okay. The nice thing about the digital age at this point is the fact that the market is global for this. So I can put it in a Dropbox file, and anybody anywhere in the world technically could do it. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter. I can get it to them in seconds. They can get it back to me in seconds. So it could be anywhere.
That's what happened to my photos in Greece. When the studio burned down, and this photographer never sent. She said that she always backs up her photos, and this one particular time she did not, and she sent her photos to remember that the retoucher, and I did not get my flying dress photos in Greece.
So,
damn retouchers.
Who paid? So, question. What's the guy? Ray. Thank you. I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. I'm gonna follow you after this too. Send me a message.
Ray a beast, man. Him and his wife.
They're dope.
Y'all two need to link up, man. Y'all four, I should say.
Right.
Let's link up, definitely. My question is this: who pays for the retoucher? Number one, and do you charge the client that prior to the shoot?
Yeah, you build it into the price.
You build it into the price. That's the only way. Yep.
What's the average price of it? Like it's per photo, or?
It all depends on the retoucher. I've seen it as low as like $10-$20 to hundreds. It all depends on the retoucher.
So I had there's a guy on YouTube named The Futurer. It's a channel. He's a graphic designer, but he explained it to me in a way that kind of changed my thoughts on this. And it's about how much your time is worth. So if you break down your time in a day, and say you get your hourly rate. So you can say, whatever your day rate is, how much money you make total, and then split that out between 365 days or whatever. You get basically what your hourly rate is as a person. You know what I mean? What your hourly rate is. And if it would cost you less to send it off to somebody else to have them do that and save the time that you would spend retouching, then you're basically wasting money. You know what I mean? You're paying yourself more than the job is worth in order to have the job done. So if it takes me an hour to retouch an image, and I could spend, and my day rate or my hourly rate is $50 an hour, then I could pay a retoucher $20 to do the same edit. Then I've just saved myself $50 or $30 in revenue, because I'm no longer doing that job. I fired myself from that job and hired somebody else to do it and save the money.
That's why, as John said, I'd rather get it done right in camera, so I don't even have to do all that time.
I have no problem with
money.
that.
The only time I'm gonna pay for a retouch is like I had a client who wanted something specific that I know I couldn't do that only John could do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Then I will reach out to a retoucher and do this because I know that's John's specialty, and I will pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm not, and that's like with the bells and whistles and all the fancy stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
if it's a basic photo, what am I paying a retoucher for?
That makes sense. I mean, especially in your situation, like you have a system for that. Then I wish that I could do, like, I probably can more often than I do, but yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly.
I'm without a camera right now.
His camera overheats a little bit.
No, I didn't overheat. The battery's exhausted. It's because I'm running it on 4. It's because I'm running it on 4K. I gotta change that.
Yeah,
tap it on your phone
out faster.
I'm
on my laptop, so I'm getting ready to see if I can switch over.
Use your webcam.
Yeah.
But StreamYard doesn't care about 4. It can't do 4K, so yeah, it's a waste.
Yeah, I just never changed the settings.
I'm not against it. Don't let me get wrong. I'm not against a retoucher. I mean, if I can, I mean, I looked at every day some new retoucher inboxing me on Instagram. Like, hey, I see you're working.
Oh yeah, I get those all the time.
Oh wow.
I would love to retouch. Let's do a free photo. And I'm all right. I'll try it out. This, that, the other. So I am considering it for more of the creative aspect. I don't need them really do any edits really. I just for the creative stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean,
reached out to me today with then what they want to do. I think I'm gonna hire a retoucher for that because I can't do it.
Which makes sense. Like that's definitely, you know, if you have
It's called John.
John is expensive. I gotta afford John. John is
I was gonna say the composites. Go John.
John is expensive. John is a different level. I gotta be the afford John.
I looked out for you. I looked out last time. Can we even show that picture?
No, because we didn't show it because they pissed me off and didn't pay the rest.
No.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, man. So I'm sorry, I got a little sidetracked because I'm without a camera right now. It's my own fault. But yeah, I gotta get the freaking plug thing for this thing. I just haven't done it yet. But
listen, man, just get you one of those cheap Canon joints.
Yeah, but get out of here with that Canon. Nobody want them cannons. Anyway, but kind of last thing I'll say with that is, like I said, what I've worked with it is a little bit different. Where I work with a team sometimes, where it'll be one person handles one thing, one person handles another. Lydia, you might be able to speak on this. I've seen that even sometimes in fashion shows where it's like one makeup artist will handle the eyes, one makeup artist will handle the overall whatever, and they'll kind of go down the line to get them all done real fast.
Okay.
And
that's interesting.
And sometimes I've seen that in photography, as far as like with composite work and stuff like that, just because it's so in depth that like you'll see sometimes where like one person to handle the background, one person to handle texture, one person to handle color grading. Yeah, it's literally like an assembly line, and they knock it out.
I shot that.
You shot that.
Who is that? I'm trying to remember who that is. I don't remember that. Listen,
that's funny.
My beat series is about to start back up, so I don't even remember who that is.
Speaking of beat shots, so Ed is very, very good at shooting the beat shots, and what he does is he goes like 5 in the morning.
Before sunrise.
That sunrise.
That is not for me. I get nauseous just even
thinking about waking up.
It's just,
I haven't done it yet. I want to do it.
It's too much. I'm like, it is
John,
a lot. The water
I haven't done that earlier.
Cold.
Not all the time.
The water is usually freezing cold.
No, that's if we start early.
No.
Depends on what time of year it is. July, August is cool.
You didn't go. It's like May, June. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
Well, listen, I'm about to start back up in May. So, John, I can't believe you haven't went with me yet.
No,
Tiba went.
Where you go? Where you guys go?
I go to different places. So I go to Margate, Ventnor, Atlantic City. I even found a cheat code in Deptford. So like they got a spot in Deptford that looks like a beach. So like if I don't feel like
But it's
driving over
not a
there,
lot of sand. It's just like more rock. So if you like that more rocky feel, then it's there. Yeah.
Is this stuff close to Philly?
Zephyr, 20
Definitely close to
minutes.
Philly.
About
Definitely like
25
15
minutes.
minutes. 15
So
minutes.
everything's like
Right.
not too far from Philly. Atlantic City is like 30 minutes.
Okay.
You know, anything else maybe like close to an hour, a little bit less. So yeah, everything's pretty
You
close.
from Philly?
The shore is close to Philly.
I'm in
He's
Pittsburgh,
from Pittsburgh.
so when we when
You
I
in
do
Pittsburgh?
if I do any beach shoots, it's gonna be up in Lake Erie.
Yeah, he's got to do the lakes.
Yeah, go up,
Is
go
it
up Erie.
is it heat? Does it get hot there? No.
I mean,
Oh,
it
yeah.
gets hot in the summer, but it also freezes over. So, like, those lakes don't get warm.
They
until
get the
August.
extreme. They get like super hot and super cold.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
funny, man.
wow.
Like I have pictures of me standing on the lake. Like me and my son just standing on top of the lake. So it freezes over. Like it's one of those places you could go fishing in the lake.
Yeah,
But
they get that
it's
cold air from Canada and Alaska and all that.
Yeah.
So why don't you come down? Why don't you come down one weekend? And John, we all go down to AC for the weekend. And
Oh, he's coming down.
Oh yeah, that's 100%. That's happening.
Down. I go up
100%.
there and he's coming down here. I have fun
Yeah.
every time I go to Pittsburgh, man. Pittsburgh's fun.
Yeah.
Now, some people are like, I have fun every time I go.
Yins like it there.
Yins. What are Yins doing?
Oh, is that like y'all? Is that how
It's
we
a
say y'all?
Pittsburgh thing.
Yeah, it's a valley thing. Like it's this over here. This we say Yins. What are Yins doing?
They go down there in that.
In that, yep. And that, Jens. Here, if you want to get a feel for it on YouTube, listen to Pittsburgh Dad for a while, and you'll get a feel for the Pittsburgh vernacular.
Pittsburgh Dad.
Okay.
What is
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Remember here.
It's a YouTube channel. It's a guy that he does the YouTube. I mean the Pittsburgh accent. It's perfect. Like if you want to hear it and you want to get an understand, listen to Pittsburgh Dad.
Okay.
He's funny.
So yeah, guys. So real quick, man. Once again, just thank you guys for coming on and doing this with us. We seriously appreciate it. You know, we're almost to that point, not exactly yet, but I don't want to talk. How are you guys doing? I know you still at the studio. You know, if you guys got a break early, definitely let us know.
No, we good. We're good for now. We got a wedding tomorrow. But
yeah, we have a wedding tomorrow.
I had to actually.
You're just sitting here like, oh, we're good.
And I still got to clean my brushes. I still got
we good.
Oh, jeez.
It ain't like we go to sleep. No time sleep. So
yo, we appreciate it, man. Seriously appreciate it.
Yeah.
I
got a makeup artist question, and this is an interesting question because it's something I've been thinking about for a while. If you were to tell a photographer how to start out, so a photographer could do some makeup on their own, if they needed to, like in a pinch, what would you tell? What would be some tips that you would have for somebody who's kind of no makeup experience at all in the photography world that wanted to be able to do makeup for a client if he had to?
Sticks, concealer sticks. Well, get a foundation stick. Well, let's see who has inexpensive. So the brand Black Opal.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if you know. Okay. So I would do sticks. So you could do get like maybe I guess like 6 to 8 different shades of the foundation sticks because you can use it as a contour, conceal, highlight. You can use it as a shadow. You could use it as lipstick. Get like some pink. So make it like a little box. Do like some pink, some red, or even do what is the name of the brand? Let's go with Makeup Forever. So Makeup Forever has a, and I have it in my bag. Just hold on for 1 second. Ed, just talk for 1 second.
She's gonna get some product.
Nice.
No, I'm loving this, man. I've never heard of makeup. I'm learning so much between you guys and Ray and his wife. Like, both y'all interviews, I've learned so much about makeup and everything else, and what to pay attention to. And when I'm with a makeup artist, like, what you doing?
Right.
So do foundation sticks and also powder. But if you have like something like this, with the camera. You can do like some lipsticks, like you can do eyeshadow, do a little cream, but if you're like just starting out, creams are probably going to be your best best friend because like once you get to blending with brushes, let's
Mm-hmm.
start with creams because you can use your let's just say that because you can use your fingers to kind of blend it out. And I'm trying to show my face here. You can use your fingers to blend it out. Like you could do a little contouring. But the reason why I showed this is because um, you can do a whole foundation look with this palette. This palette here.
Hmm.
You can do a
Yeah,
So
foundation look with that.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, because you
I'm
have the
trying to
white.
learn more. I'm sorry. I'm trying to learn more, especially because not even so much of me doing makeup, but even just when I'm fixing makeup,
Mm.
as far as
Yeah.
digitally, to
Right.
know what to do, so I don't piss makeup artists off like I did.
She was mad, Sean. She's mad at you, Sean. She
No,
said he took
he
all
just
my
changed
makeup
my
off.
lipstick color. He changed my lipstick color.
I don't even
And I was like,
remember the
oh, I said,
shot.
I
I'm trying to
said,
remember
fix
the
it for
shot
me.
now.
And that's me in my own head.
I'm so
I
sorry.
could have been, oh, maybe he didn't like the work.
I'm so
So
sorry.
maybe that's why he changed the color. That could have been my own like insecurity. Oh, like maybe he didn't like the color because he changed lip color on me. That could have been,
Nah, it's probably just because I
that could
just
have been
go
my
heavy
own
on
tip.
color
Needed
You
it
know
for
what
the
I
grading
mean?
and
shot.
all the
Yeah.
stuff that I
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
So that's probably
So
my
I
fault.
would do your foundation sticks, Rob. Like I
Sticks.
would do some foundation sticks and get like a translucent powder to fix your
Okay.
shine. I've used that on sets with men, women, kids. Do the La Mercier or the Makeup Forever HD powder
She said,
Okay.
I just started fixing makeup several
as like a
times.
translucent setting powder that will spread you a wide range of skin tones.
She said, Lisa
Lisa's
said,
got a good question.
Hmm.
she said, so how do, she said, so I get stuck fixing makeup several times, but I end up working with over the counter stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So big question, how do you work with black eyeshadow and keeping it from spreading?
Black eye, you have to set it with a translucent setting powder. Black eyeshadow, do a cream as your base first. So do a cream. So you do something like this, or like I'm right here, a black first.
That look like pink to me.
Yeah, it is. It is like pink.
Oh,
Um, do a black first, a black cream first, or a cream shadow or a cream stick. Do your black first. Do a black powder to set it, and you can also use some tape too. And you can also do a setting powder underneath of the under eye, and then once
Hmm.
you're smoking out that eye, take that setting powder and kind of whisk it away.
Interesting.
Yep.
What would be what would be in a kit that you would recommend for somebody who's starting out, like brushes wise? Like, what are some of the tools that you would think would be a good things to have just sitting in the studio just in case you needed them?
Real techniques.
Okay.
They're inexpensive. You can get them at Walmart, Rite Aid. You can get them at Ulta. Real Techniques has very inexpensive but decent quality brushes. Like I'm not gonna say go buy your Chanel brushes, which start at friggin' $35, $40 for one eyeliner brush, but you can go to Rite Aid and get a Real Techniques brush set, which you see a lot of times on YouTube.
Hmm.
Clients come in and say, "Oh, like what is this thing that I saw on YouTube?" I'm like, "Oh, that's Real Techniques. Like we don't sell that here, but you can get that at Rite Aid, Target, CVS, or Walmart. And they're actually decent brushes. They're actually
Okay.
because I actually own a few too.
Nice.
hmm
so
Yep.
my question to you is why would you want, now I know the makeup lingo. I've been married to her for a long time, so I
hmm
Hmm.
know all the terms and the lingo, and I know how I want my people to look when they shoot, when they're in front of me. But I don't want to do makeup. Why would you want to learn how to do it?
Can I answer that for it?
Yeah.
Well, what you can answer too. Like I would want to as a photographer because you can fix them. So like the same way today, how like say if I leave the set right and there's shine
I know how to
and the
do that.
person didn't bring it, then you have this powder here to say, let
Bang.
me fix that. Or here's a little concealer because you had glasses on, which drives me insane. Don't let me do your makeup and then you start to shoot with glasses on.
Hmm.
I hate that.
So I'm odd as a photographer. I actually don't care about makeup a whole lot because usually
Okay.
when I do very often I do a lot of art stuff. So I do stuff
If you
for
see his work, it makes sense.
Send me his Instagram. Send me his
yeah.
Instagram.
So when I do when I have a model come in, so I do a lot of trade work because it's more for my personal artwork. I just enjoy doing it, and not every model knows how to do makeup. So if I see that somebody comes in with makeup that I just don't like, or I think it could be done better or differently or whatever, I'd like to be able to do it. And the person who kind of put me onto the idea of being able to do makeup as a photographer is Sue Bryce. Sue Bryce, in her workshop, I went through her workshop, and she was like, yeah, you need to, as a photographer, it's good to know at least some basics for doing makeup, just so you could do it if you needed to. If you didn't have a makeup artist on set, or something falls through. Like I had an event that I did with it was like a boudoir event, and I just had a bunch of women come through and did shoots, and I didn't have a makeup artist for my last shoot, and it would have been beneficial for me to just kind of know how to do it at that time. You know what I mean? Just some basics, just so I had something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Makes up, yeah, like a basics 101 course. And
That's
Bobby
fine.
Brown would be your best friend. Like learning her style as far as
Who?
she does. Bobby Brown, the makeup artist.
Bobbi?
Yeah. hmm
Okay.
Because she uses sticks and she uses her fingers. So once so say if somebody comes to set and you need to highlight a little bit more, then you can take that lighter shade of concealer and tap it underneath of the under eye, or have some basic like sponges, those little wedges that you probably
Mhm.
see. Have some wedges and some
Okay.
Q-tips, and that'll take you a long way.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
fire. See your stuff, John posted. I would love. I
What's your
really envy.
Instagram, John? I
My
mean, I'm sorry, Rob.
Graffight.
I
Graphite.
envy people like you and John, and like where you guys got a lot of creative photography. I have all of my clients are business people,
Mm-hmm.
corporate people who have businesses and brands. So I rarely get to be creative. So like a lot of my stuff, I don't even post as much as I shoot because it's all basic standard stuff. The stuff John is putting up now is fire. Like you get to create, and I haven't been able to create in long. The most
Create.
recent thing I created just went viral on TikTok,
Oh, nice.
but and that made me feel good. That made me like, okay, I need to start creating again.
Right. Oh man, I want to get the hang of TikTok so bad.
I'm off my
Listen,
social.
you
I
got
don't
listen.
want to talk
I'm
about
hooked,
it.
bro. Let me tell you, get
TikTok.
on it quick. I did last week.
I don't want to talk about
I
it.
got one that hit 17,000. That was as high as I got so far.
Really? Oh, jeez.
I'm right now. I have one TikTok that's at 900,000. I'm trying to get to
Shit.
million. Right,
What?
and from that TikTok,
It's got a big
last week
following.
I had clients come in
I gotta
from.
check this out. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a client come in. I had clients come in from Atlanta, Florida,
Find it.
Maryland, and I just got back from Texas today. I have another client coming in from Texas, another one from Ohio, all from TikTok.
I need to. I need to figure out kind of what I want to do as a photographer that makes sense on TikTok, because I don't know what I want to do. Like what kind of content I want to create. It's I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. So what did you put on TikTok to hit 900,000?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Like people want to see the work.
Did
like
you see
people, That's what I felt like. People were like it was a shock value.
Chocolate, yeah, because they saw.
Yeah.
Did you see the pregnant girl I put in the cocktail glass?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I did is I showed them start.
I saw the
No,
picture.
it was a stork. It was a
Oh,
stork.
so you didn't see? Oh, you
No,
didn't
the
see?
stork. It
I saw the
wasn't
balloon
Oh,
one
stork
and a
up there.
cocktail glass one.
So the
was
cocktail
fire.
glass one I put on TikTok from start to finish. I had a video of me shooting the glass, a video of me shooting the girl, what I got her propped up on, and then the finished product. So I basically showed them from start to finish, and they went crazy. They went crazy.
Real techniques, yes.
Yeah, they went crazy.
That's what's up, man.
I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get to $1 million.
Yeah, that's why you met my new assistant Xavier. That's why I'm trying to have him shoot more and more behind of everything I do, just because that and then some. Because yeah, man, it matters now.
Yeah, I need to.
So now I gotta ask Rob.
More heavy.
Ask Rob. All the stuff that John has posted that's completely fire. It's fire. Now,
yeah,
are you doing that, or is that are you retouching? Get a retouch.
That's all. 100% of it. Yeah, there's nothing that I don't do.
So why would you get a retouch? If you put out work like that,
time.
Why would you get a retouch?
Time.
No, Rob takes forever. I sat and watched him do a full edit. He takes forever.
Glossovers, right?
Retoucher, like say for me, I would hire a retoucher to do that because I would just shoot the girl plain, and then the retoucher would
like
put all that circle around them and the glow off the words.
So the green and the red, that's coming from those things that
no, that's a composite. That is,
no, it's coming from those.
No.
Those filters.
The way that this is shot, the way this is shot, the lighting is all gel work. So there's 4 lights.
See, I told you.
Two
Rob
lights
uses like 3 to 4 lights.
Yeah. So there's
gel.
Yeah. So there's 2 gels in the back, 1 gel to the left, and then a white light to the front. And then what I do is when I add the ring, I use the colors that I put on the gels to make it look like the ring is causing the light in the background. So
but that's a composite ring, right?
Right. The ring is not there. That's the only thing that's not there. And
yeah, everything else is
I enhance the
practical though.
Yeah. So if you see it, for the most part, anything that you see in mine will look pretty good out of the camera. Like it's decent out of the camera, but I do a lot of skin work. So I really get in there and do the skin work. And that's what I would have somebody.
What do you use to do your skin?
Photoshop. Yeah. Photoshop.
You got presets? You got presets?
No presets.
He does similar to what I do. Like he goes through a combination of micro dodging and burning, and then
that's too much
frequency
separation.
Yeah.
So we got it takes a lot of time, and especially like he changed a little bit. I watched when he first was I was like, bruh, I ain't doing that. What are you doing?
Yeah, it would take. It's like sometimes, like if I'll show you the most recent one I did. I just got it before and after.
Was that the one chick?
I had it on here. The one that I just did that I posted on in the group. But I'll show you the before.
John, you got enough those hyperlink videos to put on TikTok that people would go viral.
I've been putting them on. Some of them ain't doing nothing, and a few of them did well.
You put on TikTok?
Yeah, a few. Like I did the Poison Ivy one, and that hit like 17,000. Another one hit like 20,000. And another only did like 200. Another one did like 25. I'm like,
are you using hashtags?
Yeah, of course. Always. Always.
Wow.
Maybe it's the kind of hashtags I'm using. I will say I've seen a difference in TikTok compared to Instagram and the rest. Like TikTok don't care.
Instagram be hitting.
TikTok be pushing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The rest of them be kind of hating.
I don't even post on Instagram anymore. I just post on TikTok.
Yeah, Instagram is kind of so. This is a before, so you can see skin wise. Yeah, this is the same. This is.
So that's him. That's the plain shot. That's straight out the camera.
Yeah. So you see the skin work or what it looks like. This is straight out of camera.
Yeah, I'm learning from him how he does his colors. It's crazy.
I'm confused because I don't even see no white skin. So how do you do that?
It's all gels.
It's all gels. Yeah. This is a 2 light setup. So there's the light behind her, which is gelled, and that's what's causing that wraparound pink. And then the light in front of her is blue, and that's what caused.
Is it all right if I give away the secret a little bit?
Yeah. I gave it away in the thing. I don't really care.
All right.
I'm letting it go so I can do something different. So
I was telling Greg how he did this. So basically, what he does is he puts kind of like almost like a white like background, cardboard, whatever, behind the flash that's behind her.
No.
I remember you told me this one.
No. That's for the black one.
Okay,
that's
gotcha.
a different one. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I wanna
Anyway,
see the black
point
one,
is
too.
Don't confuse me.
so there's a light behind him, right? Like it's a high frequency, not a high. What's the word I'm looking for?
It's a
High pass.
It's also there's two lights.
You know what happens when you put the light behind the model, right? And it gets the high pass, right?
The high
that.
high key.
Thank you. It's a high key shot, but the light that's behind her has a gel in it. So he puts a gel on the bulb. Remember I showed you those gels that go in the bulb?
Right.
That's what that's for. So what's happening is when it's shooting off, that color is still white from the background of the flash, but when it wraps around her, you get the color.
Right, because it's overexposed. So anything that's overexposed will turn white, right? So the light in the background is completely overexposed for the most part. There's still a little pink tint there, but for the most part, it's white. So when I edit it, it'll look completely white. You won't even be able to tell. So, and then the front is just a 10-inch reflector, with a blue gel on it, lighting the front of her. So there's that contrast. So
I'm lost.
Beautiful.
This is why I hire people. I would hire somebody because I'm lost. I'm lost.
So basically, you know how you do a high key shot and you have the.
My God.
You know how you do a high key shot and you have the softbox behind the model, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the only difference is the softbox that's behind the model, the bulb in the softbox has a gel on it.
Kid, like you bought me for my birthday.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So when you fire the gel, exactly. So when you fire the gel, it's still going to come out kind of white the way you see it there. It's a little bit lighter. He just makes it whiter. But when it wraps around and hits the skin that's darker, it's going to make the more color.
And you can see like the misfires. So this is a misfire. So you can see this is just her, this is just the one that shot. And then the misfire this way, so with no blue. So you can see,
So that's just the gel. And then the other light that's in front of her, that's the gel, is the blue. And so when it comes, it creates a two-tone monotone.
Yeah. And this has been one of my favorite light setups for a while. I've done it, with a lot of different
Trust me, I'm about to do it. I was supposed to do it with somebody else, and he was on some stupid stuff.
Where's Savannah?
Yeah, he's a beast with color, man.
Great if somebody did like a poison ivy,
I like that.
like a bodysuit with red hair. Oh my God.
Y'all got a good following in here. There's people that still following and listening. Huh?
Yeah, man, we doing all right. We getting there. We're getting there. So guys, while hopefully maybe I can jump back on visually. My battery's still charging. It's cool. I'm buying a plug tomorrow. I'm tripping. But anyway, last thing I'd like to ask you guys, we're moving into, we're in pandemic, end of pandemic, moving into 2023 and all this other stuff. Where do you guys, Ed, you spoke a lot about, moving into owning more properties and studios and renting out and that kind of stuff and so forth. Just overall, where do you guys see the industry going? Where do you see, for somebody getting into this, where's somewhere, good you say, hey man, you might want to get into this, just like a somebody who's in money or whatever, right? Or a banker would say, you might want to invest in this stock coming up, right? So like what is something that someone should be considering for photography and investing in coming up in the next couple of years, you think?
I mean, I think they should get into. I always say, especially in our community, we watch and we see people succeed, and we start trying to recreate and do the same thing they're doing, and then compete instead of thinking big picture and say like, okay, John does photography, this, that, and the other. So instead of me becoming a photographer and compete, let me become sell him the cameras that he buys. Let me sell him the memory cards. You know what I mean? Let me sell him the websites that he's this, that, the other. let me be the component that every photographer needs to succeed. That way, I'm going to capitalize off their hard work and not compete. So what I'm going to start doing, and John, I'm going to put this out soon, is I'm not going to, how a lot of photographers teach photography classes? I'm not going to teach a photography class. I'm going to teach the business of photography.
Yeah. Yep. We need more of that.
Yes, sir.
The business of it,
We need more
because
of
at the end of the day, it's still a business.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And you can be the best photographer in the world and be broke, or you can be the worst photographer in the world and be a millionaire. What's going to separate
Facts.
that is how you conduct your business.
Oh snap!
And
we got someone we haven't heard from before.
Nixon Julian. Nixon, we don't know who you are, but thank you for tuning in,
yeah,
sir.
Man. Thanks for coming.
Seriously. Oh, I'm tripping. I'm saying he's one of my students.
That's what's up.
Nixon's from Tampa. What's up, man? What's going on? He's out there in Florida. He actually just did a course with me in composite work. He wanted to learn a little bit of how to do composite work. We have to have another class soon, sir. But yeah, so Nixon said, I would invest in photo booths as a photographer. It's so easy and makes so much sense. And my clients don't hire me as a photographer. They still can hire me to rent my photo booths.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Nixon, that is a different, another stream of income. Reason why I didn't buy one, because I was going to buy one myself, is because everybody in mom bought one. Like now, you know how it is. Stuff get popular, and everybody in mom jumps on it. I went to a event the other day, and somebody had 360, and they didn't even have the lecture joint. They were just running around in circles. Running around in circles.
I can't only imagine that. That's hilarious.
Bro, it was crazy. I'm like, are you serious right now? But people didn't care because it did the same thing.
Right.
They still got the same product. They still got the same.
That end product's all that matters. That's funny. They don't know the difference. That's hilarious.
I'm talking about Nixon, not duplicating what everybody else is doing. Be a trendsetter. Create your own lane. Don't be like everybody else. Don't do whatever else is popular. Do your own thing. That's my goal. That's my wife's goal. We're still working every day to come up with something as a unit that is separate from what everybody else is doing. So that would be my advice to anybody starting, this photography game. And also, I would tell them, question them, what's your motive? What's your motive for doing it?
Like you gotta have love for people. You gotta have a love for what you do. Genuine love, passionate.
Would you do it if you wasn't getting paid?
Exactly.
That's the question.
Right. That's facts. Yeah.
So, guys, what would you say? I'm trying to make sure I ask these questions almost every time for certain people. What would you say has been your biggest moneymaker? Has it been what type of clientele? Has it been more the celebrity type clientele? Has it been more the business? Has it been more just individual? Has it been more fashion? Like, what's been the biggest thing you think that has been like your best moneymaker, and why?
Me personally, it's brides and weddings.
Brides and weddings.
Brides and weddings.
I can do that, yeah. And honestly, that is my personal goal, is to, I want to steer more towards being a bridal makeup artist. And celebrities, you are there to work for them. They don't tell their other celebrity friends about you.
Yeah, they sure
They
don't.
want you.
They sure don't.
They want you. I want you. I'm not telling that, because they have their own. No, I want you to come back for me. No, and then no. So, yeah, that's what I would say.
For me, my biggest money maker is a lot of my clients have businesses and brands themselves. So they come to me for branding and marketing. They know with me they're going to get a clean, well-lit shot that they can turn into billboards, advertising, website, whatever they need to use it for to market and brand their business. So I shoot a lot of people every day just to market their business. And there are a lot of people starting businesses, and they need good quality images for it. So that's That's my biggest money maker.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Very nice, man. I'm very interested to hear that more, and I'm going to make sure I ask everybody that because it's so different across the board. I see how people are making their money in this, and that's just one of the biggest things with the creative fields. That's always so tricky is that there's no one path. There's no like you could just do this. You know, you want to be a teacher, you just do this, and this, and you're a teacher. You want to be a lawyer, just this, pass the bar, and you're a lawyer. You want to be a doctor. But in the creative fields, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's music, video, film, photography, whatever you're doing. It's just no direct path.
Right. And I also feel like you have to be set apart or have something that makes you different or special than the next photographer and or next artist. I feel like when Ed and I partner, it's the experience. That's why when we had our own studio, it was different.
It's coming soon. But hey, guys, I want to say thank you so much. Signing off. This is a good way. Ray Alvarez, once again, shout out, bro. Thank you so much for tuning in, yo. And thank you so much for your episode of showing your wife tuning in. You guys really got to link up. I love this show.
So where they from?
Always.
They're in Florida now. Yeah,
but they're in Florida now.
Yeah.
Can you text me everybody's Instagram? I want to get it.
For sure.
Yeah. We'll put a bunch in the comments below and so forth. So it'll take probably like a couple hours. So I would say tune in tomorrow as far as to check the YouTube, and you'll see all the links at the bottom with all the information and everything else.
Thanks.
But Ray signing us off, saying something very special, man. We appreciate it. I love this show. Always learning something, man. Thank you so much, bro. That is our purpose and why we doing this, and we cannot thank you enough, guys. Thank you so much. I know you guys stayed at the studio longer after a shoot just to do this, so it really does mean the world to me, man.
Absolutely,
thank you guys so much. We all got to hang out. Drinks on me.
Thanks.
That's right.
Drinks on John.
Thanks for having little. It feels special to be, recognized. A lot of times in our industry, everything is competitive, so it feels good to be around people who just, support and rock with you.
Yeah, that's facts.
For sure.
And thank you for everybody tuning in. This was a good show, man. We had a lot of people tuning in. Thank you guys so much. And till next time, same place, same channel, 9 p.m. every Thursday. Come check us out. Cre8ive.
Absolutely. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Awesome.
Peace.